Hello, this is Bill Steffen, and of late I've been battling stink bugs. They're trying to get inside right now, and there was a time when I think every one of the windows here on the three-season porch had a stink bug on the outside trying to get inside. So I don't know if anybody else is having a problem with those, but we got a lot of them around here. And if you know of anything that eats stink bugs, Old Country Buffet is waiting for them here at my back porch. Well, let's take a look at high temperatures here for the day on Tuesday. We had readings up into the mid 70s in the afternoon. By the way, we've had 13 straight days now of warmer than normal temperatures. Big Rapids, Ionia tied Grand Rapids at 75, Fremont and Holland at 74, Coldwater, Ludington 73, Muskegon Beach did make it to 72, and the South Haven Beach an even 70. Coolest spot was Kalamazoo, and that's because they were getting rain there and a lot of cloud cover during the day. And the highest temperature anywhere in the U.S. was 108. That was at Death Valley, California. Coolest temperature in the early morning was a 15-degree reading at McCall or near McCall, Idaho. Well, what do we have ahead here for us here? Sunrise today, 7:32, sunset 7:35, giving us 12 hours and 3 minutes of daylight. We're losing daylight at the rate of about 2 minutes and 55 seconds each day right now. Average high and low 71 and 50, so we'll be above that here for the next couple of weeks, it looks like. Record high temperature 94 in 2017. That was the year when we had, I believe, 5 days in a row with record high temperatures in the mid 90s. Coolest we've ever been on this date was 29 in 1950 and 1976. And the picture there shows the Lake Express Ferry firing up the engines, and they're heading over toward Milwaukee. You can still take a trip over there, and really nice. Lake water temperatures are mostly in the upper 60s, so it's very pleasant going over on one of the ferries. Lake Michigan forecast here for the day tomorrow calls for north to northwest wind at 5 to 15 knots. Waves should be around a foot most of the day. Ludington and Muskegon, we did not get a buoy temperature, and this is the time of the year when they start thinking about taking the buoys out for the winter season. So that may be a reason why one of those is out. But normally they leave them in here through September. There's a lot of good boating in the month of September. And 67 was the water temperature at the Port Sheldon Buoy and the South Haven Buoy. Reed's Lake with a temperature of 72. And 4 days in a row now, we've had measurable rainfall. We couldn't buy a raindrop here for a while, and now it's like raining a little bit every day. And there's the Muskegon Channel. You can see right there a number of people walking up and down, not as many boats, but a number of people walking up and down, enjoying the evening and the mild temperatures. All right, we're going to take a little time out right now and thank one of our sponsors, Complete Care Concierge.
Need a fast, efficient, and affordable cleaning service? Complete Care Concierge has you covered. Serving all of West Michigan, we offer one-time, daily, weekly, and bi-weekly cleans, plus move in, move out. We also service apartment hallways and laundry rooms. Our work is guaranteed, gift cards are available, and we even clean on weekends. There's no better way to say I love you than giving a tired mom a break from dishes and laundry. Are you a busy professional? Pamper yourself by taking vacuuming and dusting off your plate. Office manager, keep your business looking and feeling its very best. Call 616-264-1397 today for a spotless space and total peace of mind.
We're just looking at severe weather in the United States. There wasn't much of it here Tuesday afternoon, just 16 reports of severe weather across the whole country. No tornadoes, 11 severe hail reports, 5 severe wind reports. And highlighting our severe weather data, tennis ball size hail fell at Armstrong, Oklahoma, and a metal roof was ripped off part of a hospital at Sallisaw, Oklahoma. In terms of severe weather today, there won't be a whole lot, but there will likely be some. And you see right here, we've got a marginal or level 1 risk, and that's just mainly for some very isolated strong winds from central Ohio all the way on down to the Gulf. And you can see in Michigan, we are light green, which means there's still a chance for an isolated thunder shower, but those will be few and far between. And again, out west, there's a chance of a thunder shower in places like Sacramento and San Francisco, which you don't see every day in the month of September. For Thursday, again, we have a marginal outlook here, and this is on the East Coast. It covers all the big cities, New York, Philadelphia, Washington, D.C., Baltimore, and then on down to the Gulf once again. No thunderstorms here on Thursday, and I don't think we'll see any from Friday through Monday as well, as we have a drying pattern here for the Great Lakes. All right, on to the 66-hour rainfall total, and you can see a lot of areas, the mid and lower Mississippi Valley to the East Coast, picking up some decent rain, and still some rain out west. Look at the chance of showers along the coastline there between San Francisco and Los Angeles, and in southeast Arizona, they could see a little bit more in the way of rain. Some rain in Michigan, and by the way, this includes rainfall that's falling overnight. So there's been a little bit of that, and that's in that mix. But if we go to the next slide, you'll be able to see that the farther east you go, to the better chance for a shower during the day here today, and also during the day on Thursday, with most of the rain being down toward Indiana and Ohio. But not much rain west of 131 and north of Interstate 94. All right, on we go, and tropical update for you. On the right side, we have the path of Gabrielle, and it's really interesting how narrow that path is. That means the Hurricane Center is very confident of the path the storm is going to take, and it's moving to the east away from Bermuda. Bermuda saw nothing more than some showers and wind gusts around 20 to 30 miles an hour, no big deal. The storm is moving toward Europe and may actually come ashore as a strong tropical depression, perhaps in Portugal into Spain, the Iberian Peninsula there. So that's interesting. And there are two more hurricanes brewing. We've got Gabrielle over on the right, or on the left side there. The red X and the red path there is for the next one, which will likely be Humberto. And then the orange one, which is going to come probably very close to Puerto Rico, Hispaniola, and also run through the Bahama Islands and come close to Florida, but probably still stay east of Florida. That one, I think, is going to be Imelda, if I'm not mistaken. And that one will also then turn off toward to the right and head toward the east. But we'll certainly keep an eye on that. I don't think the red X one is going to affect the United States very much, but the orange one will. And like I said, that'll produce some pretty high waves along the East Coast. And maybe it'll brush the East Coast with some rain and maybe even a little bit of strong winds. So we'll have to keep an eye on that as we head, especially into early next week. And out in the eastern Pacific Ocean, we still have Narda. Narda is moving almost due west, so it's moving away from Mexico. It's still 5-6 days away from Hawaii. If it were to ever get that far, it would probably be just a depression or a tropical storm, but we will continue to track that. And the big weather story has been out west. Right now, as I speak, we have Regasa coming onshore south of Hong Kong, and that's going to be a pretty significant storm system as it continues into South China and the northern part of Vietnam. And if we take a look at that on the next slide, this is a satellite picture, and it shows the three tropical systems. On the right side, we have Neogura, which is going to turn to the northeast and miss Japan. And then we have on the left side, Regasa, and you can see a well-defined eye right where that arrow is pointing. And that's coming onshore, and that's really going to cause, in fact, this storm was big enough. It caused a fair amount of damage and flooding in northern Luzon and southern Taiwan as it kind of split the difference and went in between, especially in Luzon. There was some damage there. And this should cause some fairly significant damage, especially from Hong Kong southward along the coastline. We've been talking about this now for a week. All right, let's get back to our area here. Oh, by the way, there's the path of Regasa. You can see it coming on shore. Hong Kong there is just above where the path is. And the circles kind of diminish in intensity as it weakens, as it moves on land here north of Hanoi. Wow, big storm, biggest one of the season so far. Okay, now on to talk about our weather here. There's a chance of a shower, or even an isolated thunder shower today. Best bet for a thunder shower would be over toward Lansing or Jackson. Not an all-day rain by any means, near to above average temperatures over the next 5 or 6 days. And I think we can get away with partly sunny. There will be a little bit of fog here during the early morning, so beware of that here for the morning commute. Taking a look at some high temperatures here on the day, 72 is what we're forecasting here. About a 50-50 chance of a shower or thunder shower with a little patchy fog in the morning. Winds northeast to north, switching direction here a little bit, and the humidity only falls to 65% during the afternoon. Other high temperatures today with the wind north to northeast, it'll be just as warm at the lakeshore as it will be in inland areas. We've got 71 for Grand Rapids here in Greenville and 71 in Ludington, upper 60s South Haven, and also at Benton Harbor. Pretty much the same everywhere. And up in the UP, it will be a bit cooler. You can see that blue color there, and temperatures low 60s up around Marquette. And then for the day on Thursday, we warm up a couple degrees. I think we'll see a bit more sunshine in the afternoon, and that'll send temperatures in most areas up into the low 70s. And we'll be back to 70 in upper Michigan, where it should be a pretty nice day Thursday. And take a look at the next 5 days. Chance of a shower, thunder shower today, about 50%, 30% chance of a shower on Thursday. That's about 1 in 3. It will be dry for all the football games Friday evening and for Saturday and for Sunday as well, as temperatures are in the mid to even upper 70s. It will be a touch cooler near Lake Michigan, but a beautiful weekend coming up. Great weather to be outdoors, or if you got an open house for a wedding or something like that to go to, it should be great weather for that. And the 8 to 14 day outlook, look at how red and orange that map is. Pretty much everybody in the United States expected to see temperatures a little bit warmer than average. This is not an indication of what the winter is going to be like. In fact, very often if it's warm in September and October, it's cold in January, colder than average. So keep that in mind. This is not an indication of what the winter is going to turn out to be. In terms of rainfall out to 8 to 14 days, we're still below average here in Michigan, as we have been for much of the summer and early fall here. There'll be some showers and storms throughout the southeastern U.S., and again from Arizona and New Mexico up through some of the plain states, and fairly good rainfall towards Seattle, where they're getting a little mini taste of a atmospheric river that'll be coming on shore, mainly up in British Columbia. Okay, let's look at what we have here for everybody. Some interesting historical notes for you. September 24, 2024, last year, a small tornado hit near Camden, Michigan. It was an EF0. The path length was 11 miles. By the way, that's not the picture. That's a picture taken by the National Weather Service of the clouds associated with it, but that's not the tornado itself. Peak winds were 65 miles an hour. It ripped the roof off a barn, damaged a chicken hut. I hope the chickens were okay. The animals tend to somehow have an instinct that a storm is approaching. And I remember seeing some horses down in Berry County, and there was a small tornado that destroyed part of their barn, and they ran out of the barn to the far end of the pasture, which is about the only safe place where they could be, and they were just fine, all of them. So that was interesting. 4 tornadoes total in that storm system, all EF0s and EF1s. The rest of the tornadoes were in northern Indiana. And again, that's a photo taken by the National Weather Service. We appreciate them and what they do. Okay, up next, September 24th, 1996, this singer performed in Kalamazoo, Michigan. Born in New Jersey. I think I know who that is. In 1949, and so he's older than me. Wow, that's interesting. And nicknamed the Boss. His greatest hits include Born to Run, Thunder Road, and Born in the USA. And that would be Bruce Springsteen. And he's still going strong out there, looking pretty good, takes care of himself health-wise. All right, let's go on and take a look and see what else we got. We got some pictures to share with you here. September 23rd, creative birthdays. F. Scott Fitzgerald in 1896. Had to read that, The Great Gatsby, when I was in high school. It's an interesting book. And Jim Henson, who left us too soon, he was in 1936. I shouldn't say this, but if you ever want to see anything funny, go to YouTube. There are some early commercials with what became Kermit the Frog for Wilkins Coffee. And they were just so politically incorrect. You couldn't get away with something like that today. But that's Wilkins Coffee, and that was one of the early things that Jim Henson did. But he goes back to 1936. So the Muppets are still going strong, and they'll probably be going strong 100 years from now. Okay, up next, what do we have? September 23rd, other birthdays include John Marshall, famous American in 1755. And let's see, who else do we have? Other birthdays that are famous on this date. John Marshall, a legal expert, lawyer. On September 24, 1906, this 867-foot tall rock formation was declared the first national monument by Theodore Roosevelt. Contrary to what the name suggests, it is not related to the demonic, instead located in Wyoming. Anyone remember the movie E.T. And the relationship to Devil's Tower? Which is, I've never seen Devil's Tower myself, but you have a hard layer of rock, and then the rock, the softer rock around it erodes, and so you're left with this monolith sticking up in the sky right there. But yeah, not related to the demonic. Devil's Tower in Wyoming. So interesting. That was September. Let's see, 867-foot tall rock formation. Wow, it's pretty tall. All right, next slide. I think that may show us Devil's Tower, and yes, it does. Tough to climb, that's for sure. From Ben Stevenson, Devil's Tower in eastern Wyoming. All right, let's go on to the next slide here. On September 24, 1948, this car and motorcycle manufacturer was founded in Tokyo. Whether you're in accord or interested, well, that's a good line. If either Michelle or Alex thought that one up, whether you're in accord or interested in civics, they have the car for you, and that would be Honda. They do make motorcycles, and they make a lot of boat engines. When I'm kayaking around here, one of the things I look at is the boats that I pass by, and there's Honda, there's Mercury, there's about 5 or 6 dominant brands, but one of them is Honda. Interesting. From John Kimball, rain squalls over Mullet Lake, and you can see a pretty dark cloud right there. That cloud is dark, of course, because less of the sun's light is coming through there. The clouds are thicker as the storm system approaches, but nice place to be, and it's nice to see the boats are still in the water here at the end of September, because there's a lot of good boating that's left into early October this year for sure. Mullet Lake is kind of a twin to Burt Lake, and I-75 splits them just shy of the Mack Bridge. And we have a picture from another John, I think, John Kimball, rain squalls over Mullet Lake, and there's the second picture from John. As you can see, the cloud showing a bit of a breeze right there, and the lake showing some ripples on there. Interesting picture showing the bright clouds where the sun is reflecting off the clouds there, and the other clouds being a darker gray where the sun is not shining on them. Up next, we have from John Scully, who can see the moon there? I mean, look up and see the moon. The moon has been waning of late, which means it's each day we see a little bit less of the moon. And that may be a jet contrail almost. It looks like it's kind of spread out there. And it's well up. The jets would fly at about 36,000 feet or thereabouts, pretty close to where cirrus clouds are. And if you see cirrus clouds, sometimes you have a little bit better chance of seeing those jet contrails like that. And do we have any more pictures to share? From John Doherty. Well, that's an interesting picture. Looks like some mushrooms there. And in fact, you know what? It kind of reminds me of the movie Fantasia with the dancing mushrooms back and forth like that. Can you imagine that? Interesting. But we thank John for the great pictures. By the way, we have another John that's going to be coming online that's going to be giving us some an occasional picture too. So a lot of people named John that are interested in the blog here and the videos that we shoot. But that's a nice picture. Hang on to that one. And anything else, or are we going to see snow? We are going to see snow. We have reached the end of the line. Have yourself a great day today. Again, there is that chance of a shower, thunder shower, a little bit of scattered light fog here during the early morning, but should turn out to be a pretty nice day. Tomorrow is the 24th, 3 months to Christmas Eve. Wow, time flies around here when you're having fun. And great weekend coming up, so make your plans ahead of time. Got art prize going on and so many other things. Art prize, you can run inside if you catch a shower. There are indoor venues as well. Have a great day, everybody. Thanks for watching.